Hello, hello, and welcome back to another full episode of How the Hell the Market Works. No, I'm just kidding. That sounded like a cool intro, though, didn't it? A little bit. Well, obviously, we have our reviews today. Okay. So, number one, we're looking at options and we are tackling meta, and we're also going to tackle a little bit of um, Tesla as well. Okay. Now, be honest, right? Me being honest, that's what I meant to say. I like the weekdays indicator over the sessions, obviously, because we're not trading like different um anything overnight, obviously, but the weekdays is what I love to delineate with stocks. So this is just a default. Um, you can copy my colors if you want. You can make your own colors, but essentially, like since we talked a lot on this channel about AMD, why do you think my boxes are a certain color? My Q1 for me is normally blue, right? If you are a longer term viewer of this channel, you know my Q1 is blue. My manipulation is red. Then my two distribution days are green. Okay. My Friday is a gray area because it has a special function. All right. Now, by that, I had to light the wood real quick. I got some gas house woods um this time. I had like 10 dark stout packs and they're all gone. I'm upset about it. But dark stout's just like my favorite fucking pack. But I do like the Generation Now woods every now and then. I dislike the dark leaf now. I'm realizing that. And I have like 9 packs of that left. Lord Jesus. Maybe I'll just give those to friends or something. Anyway, so what I'm saying is when we're here, okay? All right? We're trying to figure out why price did whatever the fuck it did. All right. So from your Monday to your Friday. Now, mind you, if we want to look overall and say, what overall direction did we really go? The outside, of course, right? Obviously. But when you're looking at this, and again, we always talk about go back levels on this channel, I want you to see two things. That's why there's two arrows, okay? So when we get to our distribution days, okay, notice how these are really, really definitive. Every time it falls way smoother than the up runs. Meaning, all the low resistance liquidity running is happening on the downside. Every time you go up, this is what we call high resistance, right? So whether it goes up obviously to fill imbalance. It comes back down. We get that. But what I'm saying is, overall, look how easy this flows like water downward the way it does. And even here, flows like water, flows like water. And again, we understand this is basically like news based, right? So when we're looking at some of these things, how are we able to break down if you're intraday trading or you're scalping or you're looking for shorter swings, which is like the same week, right? Maybe like a Tuesday to a Thursday, or maybe a Monday to a Wednesday, or you know what I mean? I don't trade Mondays very often, you know that. But if I were to be swing trading and I want the bulk of the week, I would look to start that on Tuesday. Yeah. Now, obviously, because of the news on the Wednesday, that wouldn't be like a fun situation because we're not looking to enter the marketplace very quickly with this run here. So we would actually end up at buys regardless from here. Okay. But my thing is, right? I want you to check out the first thing, right? The most simple thing. Check out the levels. Okay. Now, I've said this before on this channel, right? And we're talking about Meta or we're talking about any of the just regular household stock names, right? These are going to operate lower power of three numbers. I've said this in previous videos. But what we're talking about is trying to get an overall perspective on a shorter to midterm time frame or duration, I'll put it. And what I'm saying is like this obviously takes place over 5 days. All right. When you're operating price a certain way, right? Watch this. Now, we need to talk about time. Now we're on the 15-minute chart and I'm gonna bring it down. But watch. If you were operating the Monday, how do you operate this? Right? Now, I've told you guys this before, right? And the reason why this is so annoying is because I talk about time and price, not price and time. So I understand where everybody and their mom, as soon as the market opens at 9:30, you're looking to instantly look for where to press the button. You're learning on this channel that's stupid. Like I'll flat out say that. That's dumb. If you really need to operate, wait till you get something that makes sense in terms of time. So for example, right, I talk about kill zones on when we're trading NQ or when we're trading pretty much any asset during New York time, right? And that's going to be like that 8 to 11. Now, if you're trading stocks, that's 9:30 to 11, of course. But this is my thing, right? When we're talking about kill zones. Now, let's talk about the Monday first, okay? It's funny that like I get messages about like when I take small pauses like that from talking, people are like, "Yo, you really be smoking the entire time." Yes, my guy. What else am I gonna do? I smoke weed, man. All right. It's funny because we've never talked about me not being stoned. I just find that hilarious. And people say like, "Well, man, damn, like, you know, what's the easiest way for me to capture something like this with it being low risk, low resistance, and also how do I play time first if that's what you're telling me?" I see that price is running down, right? And as soon as you get a few bullish candles, just like this on the 5 minute, I see people closing things. I see people say, "Oh, well, move is done." No, the fuck it's not. And that's why, again, we operate go back levels so you can see exactly where you would operate as soon as you get to that nine or inside the dealing range correctly. But what I'm saying is, watch this, ready? So we need to go replay, right? Let's just focus on this price action. Now, when you're on the lower time frame, the reason why we come down to the lower time frame, bro, all of us who are understanding what the marketplace is doing, you get less scared of the lower time frame and you're not really trying to take trades from like a I mean, I haven't taken a trade directly from the 5 minute chart in years and don't need to. Because when you understand the marketplace is fractal, what you're looking for might just be generated on a certain time frame or not. So if I'm again, I always use fair value gap as a example, right? Fair value gaps, my favorite ones are found on the 2 and the 3 minute. Now, obviously, all right, we need somewhere to get in. So when we're operating go back levels, okay. Now, I've said this before, the 9 is going to be really, really helpful. I mean, even through a couple days. So when you have a good idea where this thing is going to go, you're going to be more observant on like where you're expecting price day by day, week by week. And again, you're using the higher ones here for more of a wireframe. So if you want to know, again, if this is like a 9 times 3, you might not want to use the entire 27 and give yourself all this data to sift through. But what you can do, if you're trading the same day, right? Pull it down to a 3, bro. See what it looks like. Pull it down. Okay? Now watch. Peep my vibe here. All right? So when we're in this area, I'm gonna even go back a little further. So select bar, and I'm just gonna put this at the top of the day. All right? I want you to see some shit. The reason why I'm on the 3, right? Day just started. I understand stocks don't go through a 9 or a 2781 in a fucking day. It's not gonna do it. All right? That's more for like NQ or YM or ES or you know, looking at other types of assets, definitely Bitcoin, you're going to be on a huge PO3 versus stocks. And my whole point, right, is when you're using goldback levels and you're trying to figure out which one is an optimal power three number to even use in the first place. Because this is what shapes your perspective on whether you're looking to sell from this high or maybe, right? And this is why I say you want to come in and operate a three. See what I mean? So me personally, my bad. I'm on like little half shift and all that. All right. Boom. That's what I'm saying. I want to know what's the top of this thing. Now, with my 9, you saw how even with the range, we would know exactly how far on both sides that we could use to cap the range. And when I say cap the range, what I'm saying is I'm trying to figure out a definitive area to start from and an area I can expect it. And again, if we're just trying to operate just one singular day, it's not going to go through a fucking 27. So it's really limited in what you're expecting. When you see this up here, price reject from, now I'm going to keep this yellow box in here, right? I'm going to annotate for you. So we're going to say 3 high, all right? Now, this is the high of the 3, right? Obviously, we come down. It's not that big of a dealing range, right? But I'll be honest, bro. I mean, a $3 on stock, a $3 move on like some of your favorite household names, bro. I mean, can be a good scalp for sure. But I'm trying to go for more than that, even if we're like I said, going for a days range or whatever. So mind you, if I'm looking at the 3 high right there, we're gonna mark that. Let's look at the nines perspective from that same level. Like I said, my guy, when you're coming up here and you say, yo, we just hit the high of the 3, I understand the 3 and the 9 are not going to have super different uh, numbers on pricing, right? So when I'm looking at something like this, 603, got it. You come up here and this is 935, right? But when I talked about kill zones, okay, I'll see 930. And we're going to change this color. Let's do a you guys can leave in the comments like what colors you like to see. Like me personally, I used a lot of the same colors as you can see, but I just like to keep it creative because I'm using different lines for different things, right? So you can do the same to delineate that for yourself. But what I'm saying is, if the kill zone is to 11, right, and we could just throw that in there. All right. This gives us quite a window. All right. Now, mind you, whole time, if you're on the 9, you're on the 3, you're checking this out when price is moving. You're not trying to touch buttons immediately at 9:30, like I said. Don't do that. Stupid. Since your kill zone is this big, you have plenty of time to figure out when to press the button. You have a few hours in this time window, but what you're going to notice is this right here, right? So when you're in this 9, maybe you don't want this at 9:30. There's a lot of consolidation, there's retracements, all that. But what I'm saying is, let's play some of this out. All right. Now, this is dope. All right. Now, what you can do, right? Remember, you can open the range. So, once you get through a dealing range, right? Your first 9, you see how you're kind of hanging out? But look what time it is. 10 o'clock in the morning. All right. Now, look, you're not missing a thing. Let me pause it. You're not missing a thing. You know why? Because all this, what it's doing, instead of you saying, damn, I should have got this here, and you trying to obsessively get into, maybe you caught it up here and that's cool. I'm not going to mind that, of course, at all. But what I'm saying is, I need you guys to start being a little more patient in the morning. Bro, fuck that first half an hour. I'm so serious. And a lot of times when I used to start live streaming and live trading with my students a couple years ago, I would always pop on at like 9:50, 9:55, 10 o'clock, and then we do our thing and we profit. But a lot of people would be so upset at me because they say, yo, like other Discords are starting streams at like, 9:30 and 9 and like, bro, you're always so late. But like, I can't really be mad because we win. But like, bro, why are we so late? Why don't we capture that opening move? And I'm like, bro, because the opening move is, I'm not saying it like that, not always, but a lot of times it'd be the wrong direction or it'd be some the tail end of the manipulation, even though you're thrown directly into a 90-minute cycle distribution cycle. 9 to 10:30 distribution, obviously. But what I'm saying is, right at that point, pre-market has done all this extra dumbass shit moving around, right? So like, you do have a manipulation. It's just not available to you when you're trading your contracts. So when that distribution pops in, right? I'm not giving a fuck about that first half an hour, bro. I really don't. I'd rather just tell me exactly what side I need to focus on if I am bullish or bearish, right? So a lot of times you'll see how maybe this set up for an optimal trade entry to go long, and you had evidence of that. You could see it. Or maybe if this was really downside and I get a small retracement, I'm gonna get nice time-based entry. Okay? Right at 10 o'clock, right? Perfect. All right. Now, watch this. Like I said, if you were operating the 3, bro, you could really break it down and get yourself brand new entries even on the way. So even if you use the 9 as a wireframe, right? Like I said, we saw it complete here, right? But if you're going upward, obviously 3 times 3 is 9. So it's not that difficult. All right. So if I go up 2 of these, right? 3 high, you can take the move here or wait till 10 o'clock. Yes, it's going to pull back and you go again. You don't have to start selling when this starts coming upward and you're so desperate for an entry now that you're actually taking losses on the way to the move you already know is going to happen. That's what you don't want to do. And for you to be on the 3 and the 9, get creative, just how I'm showing you now. So like I said, you could come in and operate the 3. You might not want it directly at 9:30, right? Wait a little bit. And you can actually catch the next dealing range when you're at a high or another fractal high, right? So when it pops down here, that's what I mean. If you didn't capture it the first time at this one up here, look at this now. This is what I'm talking about. When price starts to go back up again, you're in this dealing range, you pop back down. You're operating near a new low high situation. Now, this, right? Clearly, we're not bullish. So this becomes what? Market maker sell model. This is a market maker sell model or algo 1. And this is predetermined to be a curve, a full V curve. You see what I'm saying? Predetermined to be a curve. You could tell aggressively, like we said in previous videos, about the pathways. when this is going through this 3 by itself, notice how it came down, and then notice how it came right back up. Okay, but price is not bullish. Market maker model. The bulk of the market maker models, if it's a market maker buy model, market maker sell model, it's going to operate the second side of the curve towards the real direction, 9 times out of 10. In a fractal way, yeah, you can get a retracement, but the problem is it's only just setting up a market maker sell model to then go short. Whole time you could have sold here easily. So right, and this area here, it goes a little bit above, and right when it falls back into your dealing range, you sell that. Right here again too. See? And watch price. Look how it breaks down. See what I mean? The levels are playing the role. And so when it comes down, it can't get above this EXT easily. Look at what it does you. Now you're outside the kill zone. Price is stuck on one side. Just hold it. Because now, watch. On top of all this now, right? What do you have? What's generated underneath the marketplace now? Liquidity. Liquidity. Yeah. This is how you keep yourself organized. And I understand where it's a little difficult because somebody else might say, a lot of my beginner students will say, well, how do I know that this is not the buy side liquidity it wants to attack for a draw of liquidity? Or if this is not the real target versus this one? Like I said, you need to come in with a real bias. That way, when you get other conflicting information, you're already like in the mood to ignore this or ignore all the buy side stuff because you know the real direction is going to be high resistance up and then low resistance down, high resistance up, low resistance down, and you have all these targets available in liquidity. And even if you look for like the Friday, this is a massive trend line with a lot of trend line liquidity. Me personally, I'm not too giving a fuck about trend line liquidity. But when you see something like this, right? 11 o'clock in the morning, there's plenty of time left in the day for it to trend, okay? Not just between the end of the market, but the bulk of the volume is going to be between that 10, 11, really to like 12, 12:30. You know what I mean? So you have plenty of time left for this thing to move. All right? Now watch. Little retracement. But what is it going to do instead? What I say about the buy side? It's what? High resistance. And again, why do you think that we could easily expect the liquidity to be taken? Every single time it smacks up, it smacks right back down. And all it's doing when it does that little back up run is giving you new sell side liquidity to then generate and take that. And look how perfect these targets were. You could take your profit right there. And look what time it is, 11:37. Now watch when we get to around 12 o'clock. All right, you're done. See what I mean? You're done. Not saying you can't leave a runner. What I'm saying is this might give you a measure of retracement because you just hit a target, but there's still time left in the day. So it really might still come and take more sell side, and it does. Okay. This is your little measure of retracement and right back down. Here, we're going to see if price is going to be a little wonky just because the 12 to 1 lunch hour is not really fun. You'll be met with a lot of this because retail now is doing what? After this liquidity is taken, they're thinking, oh, now this is too low. Maybe we should go up now. And they think they're right. Wrong. They're taken out once again. No problem. You feel what I'm saying. New liquidity. New retail accounts bricked. And it's easy for them to generate the price action like that. And once you start to get used to this, you can do this all day. It's so easy. And again, all of the sell side is low resistance, meaning it cuts like a hot knife through butter every single time it wants to come down, versus when it goes up, the range is capped. It doesn't even take liquidity, bro. Not often, not a lot. It leaves these wide open. Look at all these highs left open for no reason. When you see stuff like that, that's how you are confirming price is still sell side. It's not taking the buy side, it's mashing these lows. It's algorithmic. And again, we're on a 1 minute chart, so when I pull it up to a 5, and remember, you're still operating these dealing ranges. So like you're still able to, again, if I'm not promoting overtrading or to pyramid entries all over the place. But what I'm saying is if you're trading the Monday, I'm normally into just scalping the Monday if I do, or just avoiding Monday in general. But when I get other, and again, we understand like the narrative here. But when I'm giving you certain like ideas like this, right? Algorithmic price delivery, okay? It's going to give you again the range that you are expecting in terms of go back levels. So when I pop into this 9 here, the one above us looked like this, right? Like I showed you before. Now do you have context on that 1 minute as where I was expecting some sort of price action, right? You end up going through two different 9s. That's it. And the 3 would have got you into all of these ones in here. If you were kind of conflicted, maybe you got to a discount down here and thought maybe, okay, now I'm in a discount. Maybe I should just buy it up now. No, no. You need to still come in with a definitive bias for a specific intention, whether it's, hey, I think we're bears for the day. Hey, I think we're bears for the session. Hey, I think that the kill zone should offer me a sell side move. Hey, I think that this is easy for me to sell down because I'm in the premium of all these dealing ranges. I've shared highs. Now I'm expecting lower prices, and according to my go back levels, this is the low. So I'm not going to end my trade till I get to an algorithmic level, and we clearly get there and consolidate. That's how I keep telling you guys you need more evidence that the go back levels are actually the ones that are moving shit. Go and align it yourself. Why does price consolidate right here? You knew about this target from the order block level and beyond. You knew where the possible terminus could have been. Now, when we're operating this Tuesday, right? Now, remember, we talk on this channel a lot about just other things that are algorithmic, so we always end up talking about if it's XAMD, AMDX, and where can we find evidence of it. So what we're talking about again here is having that on the day. So obviously the Monday was, again, I told you before, if it's an AMDX or XAMD, this shit should have you saying, yo, what the fuck? That's how X should make you feel on that Monday. You like, yo, that shit was crazy. That was ridiculous. That's how you need to feel when it's an X. XAMD. X is too trendy. It's clearly not an A. There's only two processes, AMDX or XAMD. So when this is a monster, right? Are you confused that price is just consolidating on this day? Or, my bad, mainly it's not like it's not moving, but it's basically capped inside the range. So you see how you're in the end of the go back level here, you go up, you're consolidating mostly throughout the day on EQ, you have one more spike towards the end of the day, and your distribution is that news move, and it tanks you back down again. All this is just accumulation, bro. If you can spot that this is an X, and that's why I also say for Monday, wait. Wait. You don't want this at 9:30. You can wait till a 10:15 or whatever to verify your direction, to verify to see if it's an X or not. When this is too trendy, bro, like I mean too far too fast, this is definitely not an A. And you're going to elect to avoid your Tuesday. I mean, I'll say you can't scalp this because it's easy. It goes into a fair value gap here and then down. I mean, you could run it if you want to, as long as you're understanding of it. But I'm telling you that mostly you want to trade your distribution cycles, you want to trade your manipulation cycles, and really be confident that what side you're picking for a bias, right, is supportive of your intention. Whether you're a scalper, day trader, swing trader, go and use the levels how you need to use them. If you're telling me that you're a swing trader, dog, get off the fucking nine. Well, Jay, you told me stocks don't operate uh higher dealing ranges. That's not what I said. If you're operating a higher dealing range, you're going to need to come in and say, you know what? I'm swing trading. I need to know where this thing is going. Now, look how perfect this 27 is, obviously. Now, when you operate this, right, let's put in some time here so you can see what I mean. We talked about this before, but I'm giving it again as a re-intro, okay? So I'm putting in just like the Mondays, all right? So just looking at where the week starts, where the week ends, right? Now, with this 27, you see how long it took to operate this motherfucker, man? See what I mean? Now, the gem is really coming in and saying, yo, this is the end of September. Now, this is September 30th, October 1st, right? Now, this is clearly an X, right? This panel here. How can we tell? It's too trendy. When this is almost done, what can you expect for this week? Too consolidated. It's capped within the range. All you see is up, down, up, down, up, down. And people say, oh, Jay, damn, this is kind of crazy because you're right. I can come in and literally expect this already. That's not a secret. That's why we talk about it on my public and not just in my Discord. It's no secret. I didn't invent that. But what I'm saying is, you can come in and take so much more advantage of you operating the dealing range correctly. So you see that this is a Tuesday low, okay? In here, Tuesday is our manipulation day normally. You can find a good movement here. And also, when we see this area here, right? We don't even come back to the low. You know that we're bullish throughout this exact 27. And where are you going to expect it? Because we know partition's complete. You just need to make sure you're looking at the wireframe correctly. Use a 27 as a wireframe. Come in and nail your entries on the 3. Hold this bitch, man. And you get through this thing in a week. No problem. Now, Meta is a good mover. That's why it's able to do that. You go to any other thing like a DAL, DraftKings. I always talk about those because they're my favorites, but you're not going to get through the wireframe coming in every day looking for a changed bias. It's not going to make sense. Low, EQ, high. Partitions complete. In part 2, like I said, we're going to look at Tesla, but I want to give you a perspective because when you're coming in and operating something like this, now this is very, very simple because even if you saw how this is already like, whoa, the Thursday, good mover, get in. You're clearly not like hitting this EQ and going through this one to leave all this as a stop run. That's not the objective. When it has trouble here, 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 to break this dealing range, when it had this many chances to do so, algorithmically, and also it's on you to come in and say, damn, what's the weekly profile? Is it a consolidation midweek rally? Is it a classic Tuesday low, Thursday high? Be creative. And again, if I want to pull this down to a 15, so give you another perspective, right? Watch. We've done this a lot on this channel, okay? Where I tell you guys about my favorite level, which is what? Liquidity void. It's found in one place and one place only. You're in a discount. You're respecting the lows. You have algorithmic targets that you already know about. You have shared highs as well. So when you're operating down here at 571, you know that the a 9, if you go and check it up there, because you can see the 27 has its own high, you see that these are shared when you get closer to that area. Wow. And these also have shared lows at 567, and you were already there. You tell me, bro, if you are feeling comfortable trying to sell this thing in a buy program. Why would you do that? What's also difficult about this? My job on this channel is to change the perspective that trading is fucking difficult. Because it's not. All you need is the right information and a little bit of creativity to come in how you are comfortable, not someone else. Take what I say and slightly remix it. I gave you an entry hack. If you have your own, go for it. If you want to find the algorithmic fair value gap that you're going to be able to use in this area, no fucking problem, right? Because you're looking dead out of motherfucking can I get a motherfucking right here, fair value gap. Notice the bodies are respectful. Right from my fair value level, you go through a what? Liquidity void, a Louis Vuitton, and you pop up and you take the most obvious thing that we use for targeting. Clear buy side liquidity stands out like a sore thumb. Now on top of that, if we bring it down here, look what days you're operating. Do you see what I'm saying? Distribution. My green panels are distribution, knowing the expected price action is going to start to bring you the next massive move. This is how you need to trade, bro. And again, we're looking at this week in particular, but this is why I show you the levels all the way. Why it's important to understand how you're operating. You know what I mean? And so when you're looking at this, yeah, bro, we're looking downside because we just did what? We just completely filled a fucking 27 all the way to the top. I'm showing you on the lower time frame, go back like however long in the video, that we had 9s and 3s that we could operate to get in on this week. So this up here could have easily been explained, no problem, right down. And so when you operate this here again, like I said, you're just met at another major go back level, another high of the 27. You're not going to just take this as a high of the 27, go down to the 9 and get in. If you're swinging it, go for it. But look at what you can accomplish. You can buy it from down here, knowing that this was a retracement coming, right? It has to fill this imbalance likely. It's too big. Now it does that, no problem. Comes back down. Now, even if you caught sales from above here on the Wednesday, a little low in the day, I wouldn't do that because I don't trade PM, but you can. But again, when the day opens here, right? Here, I mean. Little advanced gem. If you guys are not comfortable with this, skip this part. You have the little spot you can half shift it. Boom. Okay. This would have got you in here. All right. Half shift gem, right? Now I'm not going to fully talk about that here, but you can imagine what a half shift is. If not, I have videos on that. All right. Now, what I'm saying is, right? This week you already knew was not going to be amazingly ridiculous. So now, once you understand XAMD, but you're still on a weekly A, right? Because the last week was a super X. Feel what I'm saying? first week of the month. Okay. So it's XAMD on the month. So you really want to trade Meta, you're gonna go nuts this next week and the week after. Go make some money and come back to me when you're done. All right. Next part to this, we are going to talk about Tesla. All right. And apply some of these same teachings. All right. So hopefully this video was insightful for you today. I'm kidding. But I'll see you guys in the next one. And where the hell the lighter? Because I've been holding this blunt this entire time. And we need to smoke it. So see ya.